if I play any higher, my eyes will pop.
No, with your arms, Fletcher. Do you have to play that while I'm doing this?
Ladybug, playing the trumpet is how I make my living. Modeling dresses is only a hobby. Besides, why is Frank working on Saturday? He should be doing this instead of me.
He's been working every night and the last 3 weekends on the space exploration.
Oh, space. That is good. A lot of good people in this. What is that, anyway?
Fletcher, haven't you ever heard of Project Moon?
No, but if you hum a few bars, maybe I can fake it.
The Cara Williams Show is brought to you by Crest. Crest, the toothpaste that's been clinically tested against cavities. The toothpaste for families who want fewer cavities.
Back at Howe Military School, we always marched together. Well, almost always. Once we were split up on purpose for a toothpaste test. Each group brushed 3 times a day for 2 years, but with a different toothpaste. And mine reduced cavities 46%, almost half. Later we learned it was Crest. The others used the same toothpaste, but without Floristan. Since then, it's regular checkups, watch between meal treats, and brush often with Crest.
This seal and statement signify that Crest toothpaste is accepted by the Council on Dental Therapeutics of the American Dental Association.
That's the way it happened back when I was at school. My group had 46% fewer cavities with Crest.
That's perfect. You're her.
Who, her?
Bridget Bardot.
Oh, you really? Oh, I knew I shouldn't have let you do this to me.
No, Fletch, really. That's the exact dress I saw in Bridget Bardot in a French movie. I only saw the picture once, and I copied it exactly.
Well, if you know what you want, why bother to make it? Why not give some gold to your local tradesman and just buy one?
Because I couldn't afford it. This is a Pierre Bournet original, and I've copied a Pierre Bournet original.
Oh, we got the same thing in the music business, only they do it with Tchaikovsky. Hey, this Pierre cat is the passion of fashion.
Of course. He's very exclusive. Pierre Bournet designs a dress for just one woman, and only that woman can wear that dress, except for me.
Oh, how about that? And that's what I'm wearing now?
Well, don't get carried away, Fletcher.
Hi.
Hi, honey.
Oh, I don't believe I've met you, miss.
Oh, that's it. Hold us, please. My modeling career is through. I'm quitting and splitting.
Oh, it's Fletcher.
Why, you two. Here's your horn.
Thank you, Fletch.
See you later.
Yeah. See you later. How come you're home so early?
It's all over.
You're kidding.
No, from now on, you're going to see a lot more of me.
Sweetheart, what was so important that took all this work?
I'll show you.
Well, it might make a nice cocktail dress, but I'm not too wild about the color. What else do you have?
Honey, Fenwick Industries have spent over $500,000 developing this cloth. It's a scientific miracle. Astronauts are going to go to the moon wearing suits made out of this.
$500,000? Well, no wonder it's so expensive going to the moon. They charge that kind of price for material.
Tear it.
$500,000, you want me to tear it?
Tear it.
Frank, you're kidding.
Go ahead.
All right, you asked.
Huh? Watch this.
Frank,
Look at that.
doesn't burn.
No? Watch.
Frank, that's amazing. It didn't stain.
And it's got a built-in thermostatic control that regulates heat and cold. It's impervious to moisture, and it...
Might not be bad for an evening gown.
An evening gown. Honey, this is space tex. Do you realize what this means to space travel?
Well, how many men are going to the moon?
I don't know. All I know is the government has ordered 50 suits.
Well, it seems to me they'd be better off making dresses out of this. Then they could sell it to millions instead of just 50 astronauts.
Honey, Fenwick Industries isn't interested in making money out of this. It's a question of prestige and a contribution to science.
Well, couldn't they do both?
sweetheart, you don't know anything about big business. Why don't you just relax and remain the way you are? Sweet, lovable, charming, cheerful.
That's all?
Beautiful.
Thought you were never going to get to that one.
Think of it, Bridges, out there in space, astronauts risking their lives, advancing man's horizons of knowledge, wearing spacesuits made by Fenwick Industries. Kind of makes you want to pray, doesn't it?
Yes, sir, it is inspiring.
Staggers the imagination. The long journey from Earth, all the way to the moon. I can't believe it, can you?
Well, no, sir, I can't, because that's Venus. This is the moon over here.
Well, they all look alike to me.
I'm sure our astronauts will know the difference.
Well, from now on, operations takes over. It's their baby.
Yeah.
What is it, Bridges? Well, let's share the joke.
Oh, well, sir, I was just thinking of something that somebody told me. If we made dresses out of space takes, we'd have millions of customers instead of just 50 astronauts.
That is a good one. Making ladies' dresses with space techs. Hello. Oh, yes, Mr. Fenwick? Yes, Mr. Fenwick. I'll send those figures right down to operations. What was I laughing at? Well, I think this will amuse you, Mr. Fenwick. Someone suggested that we make ladies' dresses with space techs. You do? We have millions of customers instead of just 50 astronauts? That's exactly what Bridges and I were just saying. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, it is a good idea. Leave it to me, Mr. Fenwick.
We're in the dress business?
Mr. Fenwick thinks it's a brilliant idea. He wants me to go ahead with it.
Well, that's rough, sir. What are you going to do?
No, Bridges. The question is, what are you going to do?
Oh, Mr. Burkhardt, you're not going to put it on...
Bridges, one of the first things an executive learns is that when someone drops a hot potato in his lap, he drops it in someone else's lap.
Well, why blame me because somebody dropped a sweet potato in your lap?
Hot potato.
Whatever it is, why blame me, Frank?
Why did you mention dresses to me?
Why did you mention it to Burkhardt?
Cara, don't get logical all of a sudden. I can't stand it. I'm an efficiency expert. I don't know anything about dresses. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Well, it seems to me that if you really want to see how Space Tex looks, you'd have some designer design a dress in it. I mean, somebody like a Littlle or a Helena or a Pierre Bornet. No, you couldn't get him. He's too exclusive.
Who?
Pierre Bornet. Haven't you ever heard of him, Frank? He's the most famous designer in all of Paris. But you couldn't get him. Anyway, I'd get some designer to design a dress in Space Tex to see how it would look. That's the way I do it, Frank, but I'm probably wrong. I mean, you're smarter than I am. You'll think of something, sweetheart. You always do. You're brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I better get back to work. I'll see you later, honey.
Yeah. Mabel, get me Paris, will you?
Oh, by the way, Bridges, Mr. Fenwick asked me at the staff meeting this morning how I was coming along with the Space Tex dress idea. How am I coming along?
You're coming along very well, sir. Actually, I thought the best way to handle it would be to have a single dress made up as a sample, so I'm having a special design run up by a very famous designer named, Pierre Bornet.
Pierre Bornet?
What I had in mind for those papers, Miss Hamelmeyer, was for Miss Wilton to file them. Unless, of course, you prefer this arrangement.
Cara, come here. Wait till you hear. File these.
File these? Mary, these are going to have to be cleaned and pressed before I can file them.
Forget about that. Did you know that Mr. Bridges was having a dress made out of Space Tex?
Sure, I heard. So what?
Do you know who's designing it?
No, who?
Pierre Bornet.
Pierre Bornet! Oh, Mary! You told me Pierre Bornet!
And maybe...
Mr. Bridges, I want to talk to you about the Thompson Cross file.
Of course. Oh, that's nice. What's the special occasion?
Pierre Bornet.
Oh, good for Pierre. Now, how about one for me?
How did you get him? He's impossible to get. Why, he's turned down big movie stars.
Cara, it isn't the design that's important. It's the space text, the new miracle material. It can't wrinkle, rip, or burn. It has a built-in thermostat.
Honey, I know you told me. Now, when will the design be here?
Well, he told me when he mailed it. It'll be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Pierre Bournet. Oh.
Lucky Pierre.
Martha, please, I can't. But, Martha, because that's why. But it's impossible. Martha, will you please stop crying? Look, I'm busy. We'll talk about it this evening when I get home. You know I do, Martha. Of course I do. Bridges, who the devil is this Pierre Bournet?
Dress designers.
Well, I can't understand what's happened to everybody. Mrs. Fenwick heard about the space text dress design, and she wants a copy made. Fisher's wife got hysterical. And you just heard my wife.
Well, I can understand it, sir. I know someone who's reacting pretty much the same way.
Well, at least it isn't your wife. You won't have to listen to complaints all evening.
That's true. Sir, I don't see any harm in letting the ladies see the design.
No. Well, that is, Mr. Fenwick says no. He doesn't want anyone to see that design until the dress is made up and shown to the board of directors.
But Mr. Burkhardt...
Bridges, it's all right if you butt me, but I don't think you want to butt Mr. Fenwick.
Right, sir. I withdraw the butt.
Hello. Martha. Martha, I can't. I just told you why. But, Martha, I can't understand what you're saying while you're crying.
Cara, I don't know why you can't do that in your own office.
I told you, Mary, it's stuffy in there. Besides, I'm not bothering you, am I?
Of course not. Cara, I promise I'll let you know the minute the mail comes. I'll call you.
But if I'm already here, you won't have to call me.
Oh, Miss Hammelmeyer, would you return this export manual to Mr. Ackerley? He's waiting for it.
Oh, can I do it in a little while? There won't be anyone here to answer your phone.
I'll sit in for you, Mary.
No, I think that it would be
Fine,
better.
thank you, Miss Wilton.
All right.
Cara, that was sneaky.
Be honest, you would have done the same thing, wouldn't you?
Of course I would.
The longer you take going, the longer you'll take getting back. That was fast.
I forgot the book.
Ralph, why are you so late with the mail?
15 minutes early.
That's good enough, Ralph.
Suppose it's all Burkhart's, man.
Miss Wilton, what are you doing?
Oh, I was just checking the light bulb, sir, so I could replace it.
But it isn't burned out.
Oh, just thinking ahead. Stitch in time's worth without a cure.
Yes. What's that? Pierre Bournet, I've been waiting for that.
Oh, I was just about to bring in the mail, sir.
We'll soon see what a Pierre Bournet original looks like.
I'm a little curious myself, sir, after all the excitement it's caused.
Well, looks a little too sophisticated, don't you think?
Oh, I don't know, sir. Let's take it over here and look in the light. It seems to me to have a certain flair, sir. You know what I mean? Kind of...
Yes, well, I kind of like that doohickey on the side. Right there?
Oh, this one?
Yes.
Well, I'm more partial to that thingamabob over here.
That thingamabob and that doohickey do really look right together, don't you think?
Sir,
Miss Wilton?
Oh, I was, just delivering your mail, sir.
From up there? That'll be all, Miss Wilton. Oh, Miss Wilton.
Yes, Mr. Burkhardt?
Will you lock this in the confidential files overnight?
I'd be happy to.
You be sure nobody sees it?
Oh, you can trust me, Mr. Burkhardt.
Do you think that's wise, sir?
That's why.
Entrusting Miss Wilton with the responsibility for something that Mr. Fenwick considers an absolute secret, sir.
I don't mind the responsibility.
Well, perhaps it wouldn't be fair to Miss Wilton.
I don't mind, honest.
No, Bridges is right. That's all, Miss Wilton.
Thank you, Mr. Burkhardt. Thank you, Mr. Bridges. If you want to know the truth, they're not wearing doohickeys or thingamabobs this season.
Cara, will you please say something? Anything? Look, why blame me? I told you, Mrs. Fenwick, Mrs. Burkhardt, almost all the other wives wanted to see the Pierre Bournet design, and they weren't allowed to. You think you're any better than they are?
If you feel that way about it, why didn't you marry one of them? You promised me, Frank. You gave me your word I could look at that design.
I did nothing of the kind. I just didn't say I wouldn't.
It's the same thing.
Cara, what's so important about this Pierre Bournet design? What's the difference if you see it in a week or two?
You just don't understand, do you, Frank? I mean, you really and truly don't understand. Do you have any idea what it means to a woman to have a beautiful dress? A dress that no other woman in the whole world has? Even if it's only for 1 week, 1 day. I mean, really, Frank, what's so important about being the first man to land on the moon?
It's not the same thing.
All I want is one tiny little peek. A teensy-weensy look. A mere glance.
Sorry, Cara. It's in a safe place and give up.
I just don't understand you, Frank. Why would you put it in a safe... place? Don't you trust me?
Why don't you forget about it? After I show it to the board of directors, it won't be a secret anymore.
Of course, honey. You're perfectly right. I mean, I don't know what I'm making such a big fuss about.
Now you're making sense. I mean, why get in such an uproar? See it when you see it.
You're right, Frank. I'll see it when I see it. Good night, sweetheart.
Good night, Red.
Frank? Frank?
There's a wonderful world of softness, a wonderful world of freshness. It's the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world of Salem cigarettes.
Salem softness freshens your taste.
Salem softness freshens your taste. Smoke Salem cigarettes.
Salem gives you a modern filter, plus rich tobacco taste, smoothed with menthol, softened with fresh air. For Salem's special paper breathes in fresh air with every puff to bring you Salem's air-softened taste.
There's a wonderful world of softness, a wonderful world of freshness. It's the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world of Salem cigarettes.
Salem softness freshens your taste.
There it is. Pierre Bournet dress.
All set for the demonstration?
The board of directors is meeting in the projects room. I'm going to show them that Space Techs can really take it.
You've got to give them more than a demonstration. You've got to give them showmanship.
Well, that's why I have the mannequin. I think it'll make it more lifelike.
Good. I'll meet you in the projects room.
I'll have a man pick the mannequin up.
Good morning, Mr. Bridges.
Good Morning. Did you get my note this morning? I had to leave early for a demonstration for the board of directors.
Gave me a chance to miss you.
In just 20 minutes, the world will see the Pierre Bournet dress for the first time.
I can't wait to see it. Ta-da! Well, how do you like it?
Terrible!
Terrible? How can you say that? This is a Pierre Bournet original. I copied it myself.
I know, but there's only supposed to be one of those, and that's not it.
Frank, everybody copies dress designs. It isn't even considered stealing. Of course, it isn't made of space tex.
Cara, take it off.
Frank!
You realize if Burkhart sees you in that dress, which nobody is supposed to have seen, he might figure out that we're married, which nobody is supposed to know?
Frank, I never thought of that.
Go home. Tell him you're sick, or say anything, but don't let him see you in that dress.
Oh, okay, honey. Gee, I'm sorry. I was going to surprise you.
Good, you surprised me. Now go home, please.
Okay, honey. I'm sorry, Frank.
Oh, here, take these. In case anybody sees you, it'll look like you came in for some reason.
Morning, Miss Walton.
Yes, Mr. Burkhart?
What's that?
What?
Hat.
The Hollingsworth file.
May I have it?
Have it?
What are you doing in my dress?
Well...
I know who's responsible, Frank Bridges.
Oh, no, Mr. Burkhart, really.
He wanted to surprise me, using a live model for the demonstration. Now, that's what I call showmanship.
What else could you call me?
Well, we'd better go. They're waiting, and we can't have our demonstration without our model.
Are you sure?
Gentlemen, we've made extensive tests on space tex in the lab, and I can assure you it has exceeded even our wildest expectations. Now, I think Mr. Burkhart wants to say a few words before the demonstration.
Gentlemen, what you're about to see is an amazing new textile called Space Tex. You will see its unbelievable qualities in the next few minutes, and I think you will long remember what you see. It'll be a remarkable demonstration, and I'm not going to delay it any longer. So, go ahead, Bridges. Thank you, sir.
Now, gentlemen, especially those of you who are married, you know what a disaster it is when something is accidentally spilled on your wife's dress. A stain. And the worst kind of stain is an ink stain. Observe with Space Tex. No stain, gentlemen. Now, how about lint? How often have you heard your wife complain about her dress picking up lint? Again with Space Tex. No lint. Clothes brushes are a thing of the past. Rips and tears with Space Tex are impossible. Indestructible, gentlemen. I know you can't believe what you're seeing.
Bridges.
And how about scorches and burns with a hot iron? Here's a test nobody else would dare make. No other fabric in the world except Space Tex could stand up under the...
What's going on here? Bridges. You gentlemen will just settle down.
I demand an explanation.
If you gentlemen will sit down, you'll have an explanation of what just happened. What just happened?
Happened?
We're waiting for an explanation.
An explanation, me, sir?
We're waiting.
To tell you the truth... Oh, that's wrong. To be absolutely frank... Oh, that's not good either. Gentlemen, what you saw up here just now was, well, to put it to you another way...
I'm ready, Mr. Bridges. What Mr. Bridges is trying to tell you is that you just saw what happened to ordinary material when subjected to the tests. Now you'll see what happens when those same tests are applied to Space Tex.
Wonderful, Bridges. Now, that's what I call real showmanship.
Yeah. Well, when you've got it, you've got it, sir. I've got it.
Well, let's go.
You want to go through that again?
That's showbiz. Forget about the blowtorch.
Now, gentlemen, I'm sure you all know what it is.
A memo to Mr. Fenwick. We are going ahead full speed with your plan to manufacture ladies' dresses with space decks. Bridges and I have examined the idea from every possible angle and see only clear sailing ahead.
You want to see me, Mr. Burkhardt?
Well, I thought, well, that is Bridges.
No, Mr. Burkhardt, it was your idea.
In any case, thanks to you, Miss Wilton, the demonstration was a big success.
Thank you, Mr. Burkhardt.
And as a token of my appreciation, I want you to have the Space Tex dress. Take it with my thanks.
Well, that's very sweet of you, Mr. Burkhardt, but I really don't want it.
Don't want it? But it's a Pierre Bournet original. Why don't you want it?
What woman wants a dress that never wears out?
However, Mr. Fenwick, in regard to making dresses out of Space Tex, something has just occurred to me which I think we should give careful consideration. We must ask ourselves the question, what woman would want a dress that doesn't wear out? The case...
Beautiful. Did you see that Wanda Blitz stop that fan pass?
Wanda's fan? You watching a football game or a burlesque show, Frank?
Honey, that's a linebacker's code name. You'll never understand pro football.
But I do understand how they get those filthy jerseys white again.
How?
The National Football League laundries use power-boosted cheer. And since cheer is that strong, I use it too. Because I don't want to jeopardize your job.
What?
Look, Frank, your boss judges you by your appearance, doesn't he?
Right.
And cheer is so strong that it gets out the yellow where shirts get the dirtiest. Right here along the collar. See?
Yeah. That's really white.
Sure. So cheer makes you look good, and you get a raise.
Yeah. I missed that last play.
Relax. It was a simple screen pass against a rotated 4-3 defense.
The Cara Williams Show has been brought to you by new power-boosted Cheer, the detergent people use to get even the dirtiest clothes white again. New power-boosted Cheer.